Hey, what's up? Welcome from the future in a different country, not Thailand, but the one after. If you don't know where I am right now, then you can check out my Instagram. The link is in the video description and you'll find out exactly where I'm filming this video from. I'm currently uploading my Southeast Asia videos, just the last of them, and then I'll be uploading the videos from the country I'm in right now. But this video is about Cambodia and my experience in the country and a kind of travel review. I've not done a video like this before, but I think it's useful for people thinking of going to visit the country, doing a full review and talking about all of the issues instead of just making one video about safety, one video about this. So I'm going to kind of just talk about Cambodia in general. I'm going to begin with the aspect of costs in Cambodia because I think that's probably a good place to start. Everyone wants to know how expensive things are, and I have mentioned that in my Phnom Penh video specifically for the capital of Cambodia. But what about Cambodia in general as a country? As a traveller, Cambodia will be more expensive than, say, the Philippines and cheaper Southeast Asia destinations because they use the US dollar. That means often things are rounded up. So if you paid for something with $1, maybe if they only used Cambodian rial, that might have just cost 80 cents. That's how the American dollar makes things more expensive. The price and entrance fees for many attractions and places of interest, I think, are often just a little bit higher. In Vietnam, I found cost of things to be lower. You know, the National Museum in Phnom Penh, I believe it's $10. The Angkor Wat Day Pass, $37. That is quite expensive for Cambodia. It's one of the best sites in the world, so maybe we'll just skim over the top of that one. But let me give you another example, my latest video. The floating village, to rent a boat was $20. Yes, if you share it with other people, that cost is going to be lower. $20 for my tuk-tuk to reach there, even though it was 45 minutes there and back, $20. Maybe that's a little bit more expensive than what you would pay in other countries. And $10 for that boat I took. Food, I think, is quite cheap. In a touristy place, no more than $3 for a curry, fried noodles, fried rice. That's manageable. I think that's very, very reasonable. And as a traveller, that's not going to break your wallet. Cambodia is, I think, actually going to get cheaper and not more expensive because as it becomes more mainstream for tourists, there will be more options available in terms of hostels, touristy places to eat, and that's when competition comes in and the prices are going to even out. So talking about the costs, it's still cheap in comparison to many other countries. In terms of Cambodia's general wealth of its people and its GDP, I think the prices of tourist activities are skewed a little high. So next up, I want to talk about safety. I was there for 2.5 weeks, and during that time, I didn't have a single issue with things being stolen from me, anybody threatening me. No one was violent. I didn't see any of that with any other tourists. The most common issue, and it's not really a safety issue, is you're just going to be hassled in the most touristy places by tuk-tuk drivers, people wanting to sell you their things, souvenir people, sometimes as well beggars, but not as common as other countries. One piece of advice: do not walk around Phnom Penh with your backpack on maybe just one shoulder. If you do have a backpack, try and wear it on your front, because I was warned before going to Phnom Penh that bag snatching has been a common thing in the past. I'm not sure if it's been, you know, toned down a lot because authorities have been getting more on that, or in general as the tourism's developed it's become less common. Bag snatching used to be an issue in Phnom Penh. You know, they would come past on a motorbike and just take it, and they were really experts. A couple of times when I went out vlogging in Cambodia, I didn't even take my bag. I just held my camera and my tripod and just walked around as I'd usually do, filming my videos, and not at one point did anyone try and snatch it or anything like that. So I had a lot of attention on me because I'm vlogging, and there was an issue there. So whether you want to take the backpack out with you or not, it's up to you. Maybe assess where you're going to be walking to, what time of day it is, how busy is it going to be, which city you're in. Ask yourself those questions. What do I really need in my backpack? that I actually have to take with me. You only need a camera and your phone and your wallet and you're pretty much good to go. So, you know, just have a little think about it and see if it's worth the risk. Anybody who's Cambodian can let me know in the comments below if they think the bag snatching thing is not really an issue anymore. I don't know. I had one funny experience in a hostel, as I mentioned in my Battong Bung video, where the people locked me in the room overnight. I think that was more cultural miscommunication because they couldn't speak English. It wasn't a very visited hostel. I think it was quite new, and I actually believe they were truly just looking out for our own safety and were not trying to do anything harmful to us. It was just, as a Westerner, feeling once you're locked in a room, and actually a lot of Cambodian people might think the same, you felt very uncomfortable at that moment in time, because if there was a fire, if there was an issue, you wouldn't be able to get out of the room. You can just shout for help until somebody comes and unlocks the door for you, but until then there's nothing in your control. And so that was a strange experience, but I checked out of that hostel straight away and left. Just take the same precautions that you normally would in any other country and apply those to Cambodia. The only difference with other Southeast Asian countries with Cambodia is it's less traveled. It's becoming more and more traveled all the time as tourist numbers go up and up, but the people there are getting more and more used to dealing with tourists and seeing them walk around in their cities and towns. It's not like it was maybe 5 or 10 years ago, as Cambodia is developing very fast in its tourism industry. So don't really worry, take the normal measures that you would anywhere else and you should be okay. Next up, I want to talk about transportation in Cambodia. I took buses throughout the country, coming in from Ho Chi Minh City to Phnom Penh, then Phnom Penh down to Sihanoukville, back to Phnom Penh, across to Battong Bung, then to Siem Reap, and then out of the country to Bangkok. And taking the bus in Cambodia actually doesn't feel like an excruciating experience like it can do in other countries. There are plenty of good bus companies that offer professional drivers who do not drive crazy and overtake when they shouldn't. They also provide someone with a microphone telling you we'll arrive at this time and you'll all get a bottle of water, and if there's anything you need you can contact me, we'll stop for a break halfway. It's really organized and good. I recommend Giant Ibis for that kind of experience. There's also 1 or 2 other good bus companies in Cambodia that do the same. I haven't really taken too many local buses in Cambodia. I think if you did, let's increase the likelihood that they're going to drive crazy. I think that's more of a common issue in Southeast Asia in general. It's not really a country issue. Not really Southeast Asia. A lot of the world, they do drive pretty crazy. So there is an option to take safe road travel in Cambodia. So use that option. Then within cities and towns, you can take tuk-tuks. I recommend Pass app. It's a really good application where you can use it like Uber or Grab and just book yourself a tuk-tuk and it will come in a couple of minutes and it's much cheaper. If you want to take a taxi, then you can use Grab, which is also cheap. They're both quite fair prices. You won't be spending more than a couple of dollars to go a few kilometers. It's really convenient and easy. So Grab and Pass app. Next up, I want to talk about food. I didn't get sick once when I was in Cambodia. I love the food. It's a nice fusion of Vietnamese and Thai, but with its own Khmer twist. You have exotic curries with exciting flavors, and amok, the dish that I really liked, the vegetarian version I ate, which was mushroom. It's made with this kind of lime flavor. Really, really good. I recommend amok. And they also have fried rice, fried noodles, noodle soup. As a vegetarian, it wasn't hard at all. One more thing I want to mention is the people. The people in Cambodia I found to be extremely friendly, very bubbly and warm and chatty. Tuk-tuk drivers always were giving me information when I went to Angkor, when I went to the Battong Bung Bat Cave. My tuk-tuk drivers were just throwing facts at me, really friendly, and also asking me about my life. Where are you from in the UK? What's it like there? You know, they were interested to know. I think they are like accumulating knowledge from all the travelers they take in tuk-tuks and then using that knowledge to then maybe make an extra dollar here or there, or maybe they're genuinely just interested. I felt like they were. So a lot of the people I had interactions with were very friendly. For example, the floating village I went to as well, and some of the outskirts of other places, even though those really local people couldn't speak English, they had very big, warm smiles, and they would say something to me in Khmer, and I would kind of say something back in English, and yeah, you know, really nice exchanges. There was never a moment where someone lost their temper with me because they didn't like the price that I suggested. Warm and friendly people. I can't say the same for other countries, so that's a great sign, and the response I've had from Cambodian people on my videos has been great. If you've subscribed to my channel and you're Cambodian, thank you very much for doing so. I really appreciate all of the lovely comments I've received, and I can't reply to every single one because I just don't have time. I'm constantly filming and then editing and then also moving at the same time in a different country while uploading another country's videos, and then also, you know, responding to comments, etc. But I just do my best. But yeah, thank you for all the really nice comments I've received so far. So overall, Cambodia is a great country to visit, and not just to be used as a crossing point from Vietnam to Thailand or vice versa. It is worth flying there in its own right and traveling in the country, because there is so much that is unique to the country you can't find in other places. Essentially, don't miss Phnom Penh and Siem Reap, but include the rest, because that will help give you a more rounded perspective of the country, and you want to see a little bit more than just those two main tourist bubbles. You want to get out of those bubbles if you can. If you want to see more advice on what to see and do, then you can look at my vlog series. This video is more logistical advice rather than telling you where to go. One more shout out for my Airbnb referral code. So if you sign up to Airbnb using the link in the description, I'm also going to write it and pin it as the top comment. You sign up to Airbnb using my code, you will get a discount, and I will also get some credits on my Airbnb account, so it's a good way to give back to me if you like watching my videos and you want to help me save some money on accommodation in the future, and also save some money on your accommodation in the future. So it's win-win. Airbnb code will be below. Thank you for watching. Peace.